Hello everyone, welcome to our Workday HCM webinar. I hope you are audible, able to hear me and able to see my screen. Can somebody give me a thumbs up?
Yes, we are.
All right. So a quick introduction about myself. I have been a Workday professional for more than 15 plus years, certified in Workday HCM and certified in Workday Absence. I have more than 10 years of relevant industry experience in in the Workday domain. So that's a brief introduction about myself. All right. What is Workday? Okay. So Workday is a ERP application. Okay? It's a ERP application to manage the HR system. Just like in previous years, we had SAP HR or Oracle HR or PeopleSoft. Similarly, we have something called Workday, which is a relatively new technology. If it is not completely new, it's still been around for at least 7, 8 years, as far as I know, or probably more, but it's still relatively new because the UI and the way they have built the application, the way the configuration is possible there, all those things are bringing some new dimension, which is one of the reasons why more and more professionals are moving to Workday. More and more companies or organizations are have started to move into Workday, and Workday is a great opportunity for you to enter the HR technology landscape. For those who have already worked in HR technology before, they definitely have an advantage. So Workday is a career path that can help you a lot, especially when in the premium markets, like for example us is one of the premium markets where there are a lot of opportunities which are coming up in Workday. It will help you with a competitive edge when it comes to other skill set, because it's a relatively new technology. As I said, there aren't enough professionals available, there aren't enough skilled resources available. So for example, in my organization where I currently work, when we start hiring, we have a hard time finding a skilled resource, right? So it is very difficult to find a skilled resource. It is easier to find, it is relatively easier to find an SAP consultant or a PeopleSoft consultant, because these technologies have been around for ages. So there are a lot of consultants out there in the market, but that's not the case with Workday. The Workday professionals are hard to find. That's one of the reasons it's currently known as a niche area, as a niche skill set. It helps you with a huge competitive advantage if you know Workday. It helps you with great career growth, and there's a global demand. There's a huge demand globally. Okay, because more and more organizations are moving to Workday. Either companies have already moved, whether the companies have moved or planning to move. In both cases, there will be opportunities. You will also have remote opportunities because it's a scarce skill set. There aren't enough resources. One of the reasons organizations are willing to compromise, and organizations are willing to offer remote opportunities. Okay, so you will find a lot of remote opportunities in Workday as well. So there are various types of roles that are available in Workday. Besides the consulting role, you can also look for the product management roles as well. So there are basically two types of organizations that will be hiring Workday consultants. One is an implementation companies, like for example Deloitte, KPMG, IBM, Aon. These are all Workday partners. They are partners. They do implementation for third-party clients. So this is one kind of organizations where you will find opportunities. Those are mostly consulting roles. So you will be putting on a project, you'll be hired, and then they will put you up on a project to implement Workday for their client. For example, Deloitte is implementing Workday for Citibank. Just an example I'm giving you. Okay, so you will be hired as a consultant where you will be working on a Citibank project. So similarly, so there are two types of opportunities. One is implementation roles, which are mostly at the implementing partner companies like Deloitte, KPMG, etc. And the second type of roles will be directly in the customer companies or product organizations. For example, there are different healthcare organizations, like for example Novartis. There are different financial organizations, like for example Wells Fargo. So these are some of the popular world-renowned organizations which are already using Workday as their primary HRMS system. So in these kind of companies, you will find opportunities like product managers or Workday manager or Workday analyst. These kind of opportunities you'll find in product companies, or business analyst. These kind of roles you will find. Okay. So what kind of background might help you? That's one of the common questions I get during the webinars. What kind of background will help you? Having a bit of knowledge in HR and ERP tool is a huge advantage. Okay, you definitely need to have some of the basic skills, like for example, basic understanding of HR concepts and HR processes. Even if you do not have that, like for example, we do have some freshers as part of this webinar attending straight out of college. So I would recommend that you do your basic research about some basic HR terminologies. Like for example, what is a job requisition? How does the recruitment process work? Right? What is an employee summary? What is an employee profile? These kind of basic details you should know. Especially, and this especially goes for those who are completely fresher, straight out of college. So you should know at least those basic HR concepts. Besides that, obviously, you need to be good with the computers. You should be comfortable working on the computer. Should be good with basic Excel skills, and you should have good communication skills. Because in Workday, you will be collaborating a lot. You will never be in a situation where you're working alone. In work, that will never happen. You will always be collaborating because it's a huge module. There'll be a team that will be working. Any project you take, there will be a team that will be working alongside you. So you will not be one person doing everything. That will never happen. So that's the reason when you're working in a team environment, when you're working in collaboration with a lot of other people, you need to be good at certain stakeholder management skills. So you should be good with communicating. Good should be comfortable pitching ideas, comfortable helping team with the troubleshooting ideas. So you should be good with communication skills. So these are the basic things you must have. You need to have. You definitely should have these skills, and then you can get started. Some of the preferred skill sets. What are the preferred background? So any kind of ERP experience, whether it's an SAP HR, whether it's a PeopleSoft HR, or whether it's any other type of HR system or any other ERP, will definitely be a plus. If you are familiar with payroll or benefits, if you have basic knowledge of business process design, then these are the skills which will be a huge plus for you. Because when you get started at Workday, you will see that you can relate to the Workday concepts better. Okay, right. So how does this training help you? This training is going to be a completely focused on Workday HCM. Okay, Workday HCM is the foundation of Workday. Once you're done with Workday HCM, which is human capital management, your doors will be open for any other module. So this is a foundation level course where it will build a solid foundation for you guys. Based on that, you can either stick to HCM or you can pick up another module and become a master of that module. Like for example, once you're done with HCM, you can then go for Workday student, or you can go for Workday recruitment, or you can stick to HCM, or you can go to the Workday benefits, or you can go to Workday payroll. Okay, or you can go to Workday compensation. You can pick up any other module and gain a master over that, or you can choose to remain in the HCM itself and become a Workday HCM consultant. Okay, so this training is going to be a functional training. So there are two types of training or two types of consulting in Workday. One is functional and the other one is technical. Just to help you understand the difference, all the modules like the HCM, the recruiting or the payroll or the benefit, all these modules are known as functional modules. The reason being, the application is already there. You will be configuring the application functionalities. This training is going to teach you how to configure the application and its functionalities. You're not building anything, you're not developing any new system, you're not writing any code, you're not going to write a single piece of code in Workday. Okay, in the functional modules. So that's why these are known as functional modules, where you're working on it as a functional consultant. The application is already there. You're just going to configure it based on the application's configuration guide. Okay. The second one is a technical consulting. Technical is where you will be working on new solutions. You're going to develop systems or develop solutions. Examples of technical role will be Workday integrations, Workday Studio, or Workday Extend. These are the different modules which are known as a technical. Okay. But this training is going to focus only on Workday HCM. Okay. So what you will learn here is you will build a foundation on Workday system where you will be you will learn how to navigate the system. Then you will deep dive into some of the complex configurations like how to configure a supervisor organization, or how to do the organization setup, how to create a cost center, how to assign a cost center, how to create a company, how to assign that company, how to select the appropriate staffing model, how to hire workers, how to configure job profiles, how to configure Workday compensation. Then you will learn about Workday security. Then you will learn about Workday business process configurations. Then you learn about Workday reports. You also learn about Workday EIBs, which are known as advanced concepts in Workday, which are basically EIBs will basically help you to do bulk upload of data. Okay, so it's going to be more hands-on approach. The way this training is designed is it's going to be only 20 to 25% of theory, and nearly 75 to 80% will be hands-on activities. So the way we will approach the training is I'll pick up a particular concept, I'll explain to you the concept, and I'll give you a demo in the tenant, and then I'll expect you guys to do that configuration while I'll observe. Okay, now that is exactly how we will approach this training. You will be given independent tenant access. You will be having your own individual tenant for which is available with you for 24/7 and available with you for 2 months. That tenant, that's part of your training cost. You don't have to pay anything additional for that initial tenant that you get for 2 months. And after 2 months, if you need that tenant access for additional duration, that's when you have to pay some additional amount. Otherwise, the initial cost includes 2 months of access, and you're going to get an individual tenant. It's not going to be a shared tenant. You're not sharing this tenant with anybody. It will be with you, and where you can do a lot of configuration practice. Okay, so you will learn about different user profiles, org structures, reports, basic integrations. Those are different stuff you learn. So it's going to be a live instructor-led session. I'm going to be your instructor. I have been training with ZaranTech for more than 5 years, and I would have trained more than 400, 500 guys in Workday. So plus you will be, besides that, you will be given access to, besides the tenant, you will also will be also given access to the LMS portal. So I'll quickly show you the LMS portal. Give me a second. Just trying to open up the LMS portal, you guys. I'll just give you a quick walkthrough.
Yes.
So guys, this is the LMS portal that you will be given access to all your Workday materials, everything that you need to master this course is available within this LMS portal. Okay, so once you open this LMS portal, you will have, this is your home screen. Okay, you have various topics, LinkedIn profile details here. If you want to access the tenant, you can directly access your tenant from here. Tenant is the application, guys. So those who are completely new to Workday, so in Workday we call the application as tenant. There are different types of tenants in Workday, which we will talk about in more detail during our course. But the a tenant is the access to the application in which you will be doing your configuration practice. Okay, and this tenant is a replica of the real tenant. It is not a duplicate tenant or something. It is a completely replica of the real tenant. So whatever configurations, whatever tasks you do here in the class, are they going to be the exact configuration that you will do in a real time project as well. So it's a very much hands-on training which will help you to become a consultant. Okay, so you can access your tenant from here. You'll click here to access the tenant. You will see your course curriculum here. Okay, this is your course curriculum. It is divided in 3 parts. The first part is Workday fundamentals. This is the initial couple of days. I'll take you through some basic fundamentals where you don't have to do much. You can simply sit back and relax, and I'll just give you some basics of Workday history and why Workday is so much in demand. How is the career path going to look like? All those basic information we'll talk about in the first part, which will be in the initial first 2 or 3 sessions. After that, will get started with a core module, which is where we'll be putting a lot of effort. Majority of our effort will be put in here, Workday Core HCM. This is where you will be learning all your major configurations. Okay, and once this is done, the final piece is the Workday Job Readiness. Job Readiness is a support system that you get from ZaranTech, where they will help you with your job search. They'll help you with your resume update, with your LinkedIn profile optimization, any opportunities, any job roles, opportunities which are coming up. They can help you with that. So those kind of support you will get from ZaranTech support. Sorry. Now, if you go to the right, if you click this more, the first option that you see here, materials for Workday HCM, this is where most of our session PPTs are there. Almost all the session PPTs. So these are going to be our session PPTs. If you see here, altogether we have 12 modules that we are going to learn here until 10. Till module 10, it is going to be core HCM and it is mandatory modules for you to learn. Module 11 and 12 is going to be integrations overview. So module 11 and 12, you do not have any lab activity. You will just have to sit back and relax, and I'll take you through the overview of this. And this is completely optional for you. If you want to continue, you can. Otherwise, you can skip also. But till module 10, you have to be absolutely focused and attentive, because this is where you will learn all the configurations around Workday HCM. So after every session PPT, there will be lab activity. Some of the lab activities I will do in the class. Well, you will do it, and I'll observe. Well, I'll show you a particular configuration, then I'll expect you to do that while I observe. Some lab activities will be your homework that you will be doing, and we will be discussing about it in case you are having any issues or any clarification you need. We'll talk about it in the next class. And then we have assessment section. Once the module is completed, there will be assessments, assessment questions. Okay. Usually, this is not an official assessment, it's an assessment question. These questions are directly picked from the Workday book, which will help you with your interview preparations as well, for module wise. Every module will have different questions that will help you. Okay. And then we have this shared by trainer segment, where I have uploaded, me and other trainers have also uploaded a lot of important documents. So these, most of the documents you see here that I have uploaded here, I'll guide you and tell you which document to refer to when. Okay, these are some of the interesting articles about Workday configurations, which will help you. Okay. Finally, once you're done with everything, you have 3 case studies to attempt. Okay. These case studies are going to be your projects that you will be attempting on your own. And if you get stuck, obviously, you can ask for help. We will be there to help. Okay, so this is the way you will be able to achieve mastery over the Workday HCM course. Okay, any questions here? Okay,
Nothing else.
if no questions, I'll quickly take you to the Workday application, and I'll give you a quick demo of how the application looks like, or the tenant looks like. So give me a second. Let me quickly log in. Just a second, guys. I'm trying to log in. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is your Workday homepage. So once you logged into Workday, once you start working any Workday organization, this is the homepage looks like. In place of Workday's logo, you will see your company's logo. For example, if you're working with Citibank, you will see Citibank's logo here. If you're working with Wells Fargo, you will see Wells Fargo's logo here. And this is your intuitive search. This search is where your consulting career will be mostly throughout your consulting career, you'll be mostly using this search for different kind of searches and different kind of configuration activities. Everything you will be doing from here, from this little search, all the configuration activities. Like for example, if you want to create a job profile, you can go to the search and type create job profile. Okay, this is the task you can use, and then it opens up the job profile configuration page. So here you can configure job profile. Suppose you got a request to configure a job profile for business analyst. So you can type business analyst here, and you can fill in the rest of the details. Obviously, we will talk about these during our class in detail. You can configure it. Now, in case your client comes to you and asks you for a report, okay, you'll be glad to know that Workday has a very good reporting capability. It provides you with some Workday standard reports. Majority of your reporting needs will be met by the Workday standard reports. So every time you come with you are getting a reporting request, you should start searching the Workday standard reports or Workday delivered reports, which are auto delivered by Workday, and you will be able to use one of those reports. In case your reporting need is not met using the Workday standard report, then you can always create a custom report. So you need to first search the Workday. There's a task called Workday standard report, Workday standard reports, right? So if you click here, it will give you a choice of report category. So for example, I want to see payroll related reports, right? I can simply type payroll and it'll give me different payroll options. If I want to see, for example, compensation reports, I can simply type comp here. Okay. I have the option to select compensation here and it will pull up the compensation related reports. And these are going to be Workday standard or the Workday delivered reports. Okay. So this search is a very intuitive, and majority of your consulting career will be spent around this search, where you will be configuring things, configuring the system using this particular search. Okay. The next thing you see here is your notification icon. This is where all the notifications come through. Then we have the my task. Anybody who needs to do any action, like for example, somebody has to approve something, it goes to my task. Okay. Like then we have the profile icon. Okay. This is the profile. When you click on the profile icon, it takes you to the employee's profile. So if you see here, currently I'm logged in as Heather Jennings. Okay. So this is my profile as Heather. This is my employee ID. This is my supervisory organization. This is my location. Okay. So this is my employee profile. Okay. These are my details about my employee ID and etc. etc. So this is your, we'll talk more about it obviously in detail when we start the class. So this is how the application looks like, and this is completely configurable. So if I go to the employees comp details, you will see this compensation elements that you see here. Give me a second. So if I go into Workday, the compensation tab of this worker, Heather Jennings comp details, if you see all this comp element, these are completely configurable. This package, your sales grade, this salary allowances, whatever you see here, this is completely configurable and completely it will be done by you in the class. In the class, you will be configuring these items under my observation. I will be teaching you how to do it, and then you will be doing everything and you will be assigning the compensations. You'll be learning this end to end. Plus, you will be learning about different work, the business processes. Like, for example, how the hire BP works. BP stands for business process. If I type BP and higher, if you see here, yeah, so I have the higher definition, default definition, business process. What is this business process? This business process basically is a sequence of workflow steps. The steps decide what are going to be different steps while you are hiring somebody. Yes, if you see currently there are only 3 steps. So all these type of configurations you're going to learn as part of this Workday HCM training. So as I said, it's going to be a hands-on approach where majority of the time will be spent around the Workday training. I mean the activities, hands-on activities. Okay, I'll go back to the slides. Give me a moment. Okay, so what can you do after this HCM? So this HCM is a beginning. This HCM course is a beginner-friendly course because here we will be starting everything from scratch to advanced level. So you will begin your journey by designing the Workday application, and slowly as you keep working on different projects, keep getting your first, you get your foot in the door, you get your first Workday job, then you take up your second job, you work on projects. Slowly, you will become a Workday HCM architect. Okay? That's the architect is the senior most level in terms of Workday application configuration. Okay? So you will slowly get to that architect level once you start your journey. From here, the long-term goal should be to become a Workday architect. In case if you want to remain in the configuration side, if you don't want to remain in the configuration side, you can also go for Workday manager side, like become a project manager or a product manager or a senior leader, all those kind of things. Okay. This Workday course will also help you with certification. For those who are interested to get a proper Workday, a genuine Workday certification, ZaranTech is currently the only training organization in the world which can help you with that, because they have an official collaboration with a Workday partner through which they can offer you a proper, genuine Workday certification. Okay, so I think we will talk more about it. Guys, you have any questions for me before I hand over to another person who will talk about certifications? Yes, I see a hand raised. What is the question?
Just have a question regarding the certification. Since I'm new to this total Workday thing, I was wondering if is it compulsory to get certified to land a job as a Workday consultant?
Okay, so this is my take on it. Your question is my take, and this is my 2 cents. It is not compulsory to have a certification. A certification is always going to help. Okay, I never underestimate certification. Certification is always going to help. Is always going to be an edge. So when you have a certification, you will definitely have an advantage, but it is not compulsory to land a job. I'll tell you why. There's a reason why I'm saying this, because firstly, there aren't enough certified candidates in the market. So when the Workday guys they start looking for Workday resources, they will always try to search for certified guys, but certified guys are very few. There aren't enough certified candidates in the market. First, secondly, those who are certified, they will be much in demand, right? They will definitely be in demand. The third thing is that there are two types of organizations, as I said: implementing organizations like Deloitte, KPMG, etc., and customer organizations like the customers who already have Workday and they need people to manage it. Okay? In implementation companies, certification is going to be mandatory, especially in new implementation projects. Okay? So, for example, if Deloitte is hiring you for a new project, for an implementation project, then certification is absolutely mandatory, because without certification, they cannot put you on an new implementation project. However, there are a couple of things here. Now, a lot of times I have seen this. Companies like Deloitte, KPMG, they hire you even if you do not have the certification, but you have the skills. They'll hire you, they will put you through the certification process, and then they will put you in the project. This also happens. It has happened to some of my participants. Then next, there are support projects also. These implementation companies, they also have support projects where they're not working on new implementation. It's a support and maintenance project. Okay. So in those kind of roles, certification is not mandatory. And in customer companies, like product companies, like for example, Novartis, Citibank, Wells Fargo, etc., in these kind of companies, again, it's just they have already got Workday implemented couple of years ago. So currently they are already active on Workday platform. So in these kind of companies, they are going to need somebody to manage the system. So they are not, it is in these kind of companies, certification is not going to be mandatory. It will be completely at the discretion of the hiring manager. So to answer your question, the certification is not mandatory. However, it is definitely going to have an advantage if you have it.
Okay, so if we could able to land a job with just getting the skills done and later on going forward, can we go for the certification, right?
It's up to you. That is totally up to you how you want to approach it. If you want to, there are two ways of looking at it. If you want to first get the training done and then you want to start looking for opportunities, and then once you get your job, then you go for certification. That's one option you have. The second option is you want to complete the training, get your certification, then start searching for the job. That option is also open for you. So it's completely up to you how you want to approach it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, got it.
Yeah. Okay. So any other questions for me?
So I have a question. So we have an experience in Workday already. So if I want a certification, will ZaranTech provide only certification?
You have to go through the ZaranTech training first, and because the training the partner with which the ZaranTech have an agreement, they have a condition laid that they want to see that you have completed the training. Only then they will be allowing you to go through the certification. Even if you are trained, and so even if you know everything around Workday, still I think it is mandatory, because those guys are not allowing you to go through their portal and get through their certification process unless you show this training as a proof,
Evidence.
as an
Okay.
evidence. Yeah, because the certification is not easy to pass. For those who know, it is tough, it is difficult, and it is expensive, right? So even they do not want to be in a situation where more and more candidates are failing the exam. So that's a bad reputation for them also, right? So they are also making sure that if you're going for certification, you are actually eligible to pass the exam.
Got it.
And those who
Yeah,
want to go for certification, yeah, just 1 second. Those
Sure.
who want to go for certification, my recommendation is that, guys, do not rush. Okay, please give yourself enough time to go for certification, because certification is tough. I'm a certified person. Got my certification a couple of years ago, and I can assure you that it is tough, right? The exam is tough. You need to have your concepts cleared, and you need to spend enough time with the system. You should spend at least good 2 to 3 months with the applications, minimum 2 to 3 months of regular practice of 2 to 3 hours every day. Then you should approach the certification to give yourself that chance of clearing it at one go. Otherwise, if you fail the exam, then again retaking the exam is again going to take cost you money. Right. So my recommendation is don't rush, guys, for certification. Give yourself enough time and then approach it. Yeah, please go ahead. Somebody was asking a question.
Yeah, and I have an experience of more than 5 years actually in HCM, and I've been working on it day in, day out. But I have not actually gone through any certification yet. And if I want to actually go through some mock exams, basically, and without it going through training, because I've already gone through official Workday training, which is really not that useful. But basically, I have the documentation, and basically, I've already been working on it for some time. Do you also provide mock exams?
Yes, so ZaranTech does have a mock exam portal. So you have to just send out an email to your contact person separately that this is your requirement, and they will be able to come back to you with a recommendation.
Yeah, so for that, I already did it once, and I actually got a response saying that there are 3 attempts for a single paper.
Okay.
Oh, I just wanted to confirm, is it basically 3 different papers and single attempts for those 3 papers, or basically it is just one paper with 3 attempts?
I have to check that.
Also, one more question on the same certification plan is basically once we give the exam, right? Actually, I got a response back saying that we'll get the correct answers, but would there be explanations for those? Because every question can be a tricky question. Basically, you just need to figure out why do we eliminate few and basically accept one.
I got it. Yeah. So
Now, one more general question, basically, in the time of moment, actually, that I've been working on specifically core HCM. I've worked on recruiting, but not much, basically. But just wanted to know, basically, from a market point of view, right? Actually, when we actually pose ourselves as an HCM consultant or basically HCM, I mean, we worked on HCM, right? Actually, I mean, Workday. So, I mean, are they expecting multiple domains or basically 1 or 2 domains are good? Because what I see is from a consulting point of view, a lot of people basically just throw buzzwords around. Like they've worked on EIBs, they've worked on reporting, they've worked on compensation, benefits, HCM, recruiting. I mean, like, I really don't know if they really get that much exposure in single project or basically they are actually working as an implementation team. But what are your opinion on this actually?
all right, yeah, good question. So basically, if it's an implementation project, then you cannot work on multiple modules, especially if you're doing a large scale implementation. So you definitely your focus should be on one module. If you're working on HCM, you'll be one part of HCM team. If you're in benefits, you will be part of benefits team. Now in implementation, the focus is mostly on one module. Okay? But in support projects, what I have seen is that in support projects, my observation is that in a lot of organizations, they're expecting you to have more than one module, knowledge of more than one module. Okay, if you have already have HCM knowledge, they would expect you to have a little bit knowledge about absence or time tracking. Mostly in support kind of projects. Okay, but in implementation project, it is always going to be going to be one module, and it is not easy to master more than one module, to be honest. So because modules are huge, right?
I
So
totally agree.
yeah, it's each module taking learning in depth, it takes so much time. So a lot of companies post these details. So a lot of job postings, you would see that they're posting like absence, time tracking, and
Yeah.
HCM, and benefit and payroll. So the problem is that the guys who are posting these details, they're probably not aware that these modules cannot be mastered by one person. There are so many different modules. One person is unlikely to know HCM, absence, time tracking, payroll, benefits, comp. It is impossible,
Exactly.
nearly impossible to know. So if you come across such kind of postings, try to see in the posting which is the core module they are looking for. Because a lot of times
Got
these
it.
things are getting posted by people who probably get it from someone and they just post it. Okay, so it's not
makes
probably
sense.
posted by the hiring manager, not posted by a technical person who knows things. So even if you come across those roles, if you just see which is the core module they are focusing on, if it's core module is HCM and you know HCM, go ahead and apply.
Got it.
I have a question here.
Yes.
Basically, two questions. So, first question is related to certification. So, you guys provide Workday certification. Like, what is the process for certification? You have any tie-up with some partner company and
Yes.
they give the certification because only partners can provide the
Correct.
certification thing. So, you
That
how
is
it
correct.
is?
That is correct. So ZaranTech does have a tie-up with a partner company, and through the partner company, they are able to offer you the certification. So the way the process works is you will first complete this particular training, and once you have done this training, you will send an email. Once you feel that you are ready to go for the certification process, you will send an email to your point of contact that you want to go for the certification process, and then they will enroll you in the partner company's portal. And then you have to pay the fees, the certification fees, and you'll be paying directly to the Workday. The fees you do not pay to anybody else. You do not pay to ZaranTech. You do not pay to their partner company. You directly make that payment to Workday, and then Then you have to schedule your exam based on your convenience. And I think you have to go through the training also. The Workday training also. Before the certification, you also have to mandatorily complete the Workday trainings, which is provided by Workday itself. And after that, you can schedule the exam and then you can write the exam.
Okay, so going forward, like if I join any company and I say I have done from this company my certification, because we should be employed in that company, right, for certification. So can they ask this question that you are employed in some other company and how you have done this certification from some XYZ company?
I don't know the answer to that question because I generally do not handle the certification process. It is generally handled by the different team at ZaranTech. I'm just a trainer. So what I would recommend is if you could note down your questions and send an email to your point in contact, they will definitely get back to you with your answers.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt, sir. I request the participant to hold back this question related to certification. Will be answered through the end of the session.
Okay, okay, sure.
Yeah.
My second question is related to
Yes.
this training thing. So you guys provide any self-paced recording if someone is not able to join, he's in some other time zone, and I just want to go through with the recorded session and like tenant access, if you can provide both the things. Do you have any such kind of training track?
Yes, good question. So basically, even if you're joining this live instructor-led training, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Even if you're joining this live instructor-led training, every session is recorded. So if you see here, video recordings, these are the recordings of every session, okay? Including this demo session, everything is recorded. Okay? This is where you'll find all the recordings. Okay? So even if you miss a particular session, you can come back and watch that session later. I can do your configuration in the tenant. The tenant is there with you for 2 months once you enroll for the course.
Okay, and after the training, if I want to get the only tenant access for practice, is
You
it
can.
available?
It is available for additional amount. You can get the tenant access.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you. This answers all my questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when we spoke about the certification for functional consultant, let's say I earlier told you that I am a SAP techno-functional. Okay, I mostly work on planning side of SAP. Okay, if I move to Workday technical, do I need those certification?
So certification, as I said earlier, it is not mandatory. Okay. Certification is completely company specific and project specific. If it's a new, if you are applying for a project which is a new implementation project from an implementation company, then certification becomes mandatory. Okay.
Oh, that is mandate for functional and technical both when we go for
both, yeah.
implementation. Oh,
Yes, for
okay.
implementation, for new implementation, because that is without the certification, you will not be allowed to work on a new project.
Okay,
But that is from an implementation company point of view. But if you're directly applying for the customer company, then certification is not mandatory. It completely at the discretion of the hiring manager. So, for example, we talked about Deloitte, right? So, for example, if you're getting hired by Deloitte to work for Citibank, it's a new implementation project, then certification is mandatory. Now it's a different case that Deloitte might choose to hire you without certification, and they put you through certification process, and then they put you in project. That is one possibility. And the second option is you directly get hired by Citibank. Okay. If you directly hired as a Citibank, then you do not need the certification, because it is completely at that point in time, it is completely depends upon the hiring manager's discretion whether they really want you to want a certified guy or not.
Okay. So my last question is, what do you suggest for me? Because I will tell you, I'm a planning consultant in SAP, and I worked on a lot of workforce planning, and we get the data from the Workday. But I don't do any integration. I get the file, we upload it, and we calculate all the terms, SUI, FICA, FOTA, fringe activities, everything. So should I enroll this HCM course, or should I go for a Workday integration directly?
Okay. So basically, in your case, from what you do, for what I understand right now, you're basically into an kind of analyst kind of role. You're mostly doing data processing kind of stuff.
No,
Not,
no, no, no.
Huh?
I'm not an analyst. So I'm kind of planning consultant. I'm a planning
Okay.
consultant. Yeah.
Okay.
So I write code,
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
I'm,
Got it. Okay.
yeah. So
Okay. Got it.
yeah.
So if you have already got some technical background, then you can
Yes.
directly go for Workday integrations.
And there is a instructor-led course, or because I checked in the ZaranTech website, they have all recordings. So
No, they have integrations code also. So you have to drop an email to them that you're
okay.
interested. So whenever the instructor-led course starts, the course will start with a minimum of some students. Once they have the minimum number of students, they will start the course, and they can enroll you for that.
And how is the market for that particular course? Because I know in US functional is more important, but technical part goes to India. So that's what I'm trying to understand.
No, integrations demand is there. I mean, exactly how it is in the US right now, that is for you to check. But the overall demand is there, because integrations is a good skill set to have, especially if you know studio integrations. So
Okay.
it's definitely a good one to know.
So studio is the important thing, right? I did some
Yes.
research. Okay, I did
Yes.
some research. So because see why I'm asking this question, because when you look into the SAP world, right? So the coding thing they just send back to India, and the rest part they will keep. So that's why, means if I want to switch, I want for next 10 years I want to be make sure
I
that
got it. I got your point. So in that case, my recommendation to you would be you start with HCM, you build your depth in HCM functional, and then you slowly pick up integrations, because integrations will be easy for you given your already technical background. It will be easier for you to pick integration. But if you know HCM and then you know integrations, then you will be much in demand because you know more than one module.
Okay,
Yeah, you
got it.
can. And if you are interested, once you're done with it, so for you, actually, there's a huge, very good scope, because if you once you know HCM, you can also go for payroll. In payroll, there's a lot of requirement for integrations. Because
Okay.
you know, Workday does not have payroll solution for majority of the countries. They only offer payroll for 4 or 5 countries globally. So what happens is that most of the organizations, they have Workday HCM as their primary HRMS system, but for payroll they had to use a third party system like ADP or SDWorks, this kind of, right?
Yes.
So a lot of integrations are required in those domains. So if you know HCM, and besides HCM, if you know payroll and integrations, then you will be much in demand in the market.
And how about the finance module in Workday?
Finance is also good, but I do not belong to that domain, so I really do not have much update around that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Hello. Hi.
Yes.
So I previously worked for HCM Technical back in India for 2 years. I was like, I have a grip on the HCM technical side, on absence and time tracking, and little bit of payroll. So do you suggest me to stay in the same technical side or the functional side? And I stay currently in USA.
Okay. So when you say technical side, what do you exactly mean by technical side in HCM?
Like HR, headcount, and payroll.
Like, do you configure the system?
I write a code side and little bit grip on a functional side too. Not so depth in functional. Like I write a code back like when I was in India.
Okay. All right. You write code in the sense like you worked in Workday Extend.
The third party company, like I was working back in Oracle. So I was working there.
Okay, if you already have a technical side, if you know the technical stuff, then you should remain in technical. And for those who enjoy coding, those who enjoy the technical side of things, I think it's you should remain in technical, if you ask me. And those who don't want to write code and still want to have an excellent career, I think functional module or functional consulting is an excellent opportunity for them.
Okay. So on like both when you compare both of them, which is having a huge market, like just
Where are you based out of right now?
I am in USA, like I got a 1 year gap.
Okay.
So I just
So,
wanted to come back to the same.
So please
Right.
check in your local market which one is more in demand. Okay, because in India right now the demand is for both technical and functional, both are in huge demand right now in India. But for
Okay.
the US market, yeah, especially for the region where you are, the location that you're looking for, in those areas, what exactly the situation is something that you have to check. Maybe you can do a bit of LinkedIn search and check which one is in demand, and based on that you can go ahead and make your selection.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
one more question to adding in that. To in payroll, so we have a functional and also an integration in payroll, or both
Right.
we need.
Correct.
Okay.
If you can choose either to become a payroll functional consultant, or you can also choose to become a payroll technical consultant. Payroll technical is basically the integrations we're talking about, where you are
Okay.
creating the integrations to integrate Workday with third-party payroll systems. Like for example, Workday. Most of the organizations are using Workday these days, but the payroll is not there for all over across the world. So payroll is only there for 4 or 5 countries, right?
Yeah, Spain, France, and US, Canada mostly.
Not even
for
Spain. I
them.
don't think even Spain is there.
I
US,
don't know. Many companies are asking right now. I don't know in
no,
US.
Workday is not offering payroll for Spain. They're offering for US.
Maybe time tracking. Sorry.
Time tracking is there. Yes,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry. I
correct.
confused.
Absence time tracking is there globally, but
Yeah.
payroll is only there for US, UK, I think
Canada.
Australia, Canada, France, and recently they started for Ireland. So these are the
Okay.
only 6 countries. So, but companies are present globally, right? So they have to rely on the local vendors, well, or the global vendors like ADP and SAP payroll. So that's where the
Yeah.
integrations come into play. So that's when you have to design those payroll interfaces so the data can flow in and out to the system. That's where the
Okay.
integrations come into picture.
So if any job only asked for US payroll, it means it's a functional, right? No.
Yes, correct. If you're asking
Okay.
for US payroll configuration, it's a functional module.
Okay. So indirectly, if they ask HCM plus payroll, it means purely functional role.
Functional role. That is
Okay.
correct. Yes.
If somewhere they will be written implementing in the JD, then we need to check with them what exactly they mean by implementing in that, right?
Yeah. So functional module implementation is also there, right? They're implementing Workday US payroll. Right? That's a functional implementation.
Oh, from scratch you are building. Oh,
Correct.
got it. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Sure, I have a question.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
When I was looking, just trying to discover what are the opportunities for Workday HCM for fresher roles, I could barely find fresher roles. Earlier back in India, I have experience into IT recruitment for 4 years. So I don't know if I would be considered as a fresher when in future if I'm applying roles for Workday HCM consultant. So, what is your
You
opinion on the fresher market in India or wherever it is? Because I could spot very less roles. People are asking at least 4 to 5 years of experience. So,
so
I
you're
just
completely fresher or you have some experience?
yeah, I have 4 years of experience into IT recruitment.
Okay, IT recruitment, right? So I mean, you mean the recruitment process, like as a recruiter, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
or any functional consulting, any other recruiting application.
No, not into any of the system.
Okay,
Just
so in your case, you can actually there are some transferable skills and some you already have a solid understanding of the overall recruitment process. So that's a huge advantage for you. So for you, I think it will be better if you go to pick up Workday recruiting model. Okay, so you should focus on the Workday recruitment. Okay, you can start with HCM and then move to recruitment, or you can directly go to recruitment also. That is something up to you. But if you know Workday recruitment, your skills will become completely transferable, and you will be able to leverage that. Then you will
Okay.
not be considered as a fresher, because you already know the process, how the entire recruiting thing works, right? There's a recruitment life cycle, and you know how to do that. And now if you know how to configure the system which you're currently using, as probably you're using as an HR, as a HR professional, using the system to hire candidates, put the information, and to later on you will be configuring the very system that you're currently using. So that's an advantage that you will have if you go to recruitment module.
Oh, fine. I have one more question. Since I'm from MBA HR background and I don't have any technical background as of now, like until now. So choosing this course, how easy or how like flexible will I be able to go through this course since I don't have any technical background, and how easily will I be able to cope up with the course? So
You
I'm just little unsure about how much technical knowledge is required to be able to pick up in this course.
See, I will be teaching everything from scratch. For the Workday HCM, you will be learning everything from scratch, right from zero. Okay. And given you're already having some background in recruitment, which means you already have some basic HR knowledge, so you should be able to pick it up. I am
True.
not starting from a mid level or from intermediate level. No, I'm not starting from there. This course will be completely right from basic, right from how to navigate the system, how to do the search, how to do the proxy, how to configure the system, what is the Workday security. Everything you will be learning right from scratch. So it's a very much beginner friendly course, to answer your question. And the way it will be done is I'll be explaining one concept to you, and then I'll do that config myself, and then I'll hand over the system to you to do that config. And sometimes I'll ask for volunteers to do some config. So that's how we'll be approaching this course. So that in case you're getting stuck, I get to see where you're getting stuck, where you're struggling, what help you need that we can do.
True. Having said my background to you, so do you suggest me HCM initially and going forward to recruitment, right?
See, HCM is the foundation of all modules.
Mhm.
So my recommendation to everyone is to go start with HCM, because that will give you that overall the complete overview of the entire system. Okay, recruitment is a separate module altogether. Okay.
Okay.
Workday recruitment is a separate module that is different from HCM, but HCM is the overall foundation of the entire ecosystem. Okay. So if you ask me personally, I recommend that you start with HCM, but at the same time, if you already know a little bit of HCM, if you already have worked in Workday recruiting system, you probably have some background. You are the best person to judge that. If you think no, you do not need HCM, you can directly go with recruitment. Then you can definitely go with recruitment or directly. Okay. Because recruiting is a different module altogether. And given your background, recruiting is the right module for you.
Okay.
Now
So
you decide whether you really need HCM or not. If you think that you already know a little bit of basic HCM, that's fair enough. You can directly start with recruiting. So that's totally up to you how you want to approach.
which means that okay, first deal with HCM when we feel like okay, enough qualified or enough with the HCM. Choosing recruitment will be leveling up on HCM, right?
Yes, it's a huge advantage. If you know more than one module, if you know HCM and if you know recruitment, then you are in a different level altogether, because you will hardly find people with more than one module knowledge. No, generally people have knowledge of one module. Somebody is a master of HCM, somebody is a master of time and absence, somebody is a master of payroll, but you will very rarely find somebody who is a master of more than one module. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's a huge advantage. Yeah.
as you said, I could spot a combination of two to three modules in job description, and I was really wondering if is that really possible to have like 3 to 4 modules combined
It
in
is
one skill.
difficult, very
Yeah.
difficult. It's probably it will happen after several years in the industry. Maybe after spending 7, 8 years or 10 years, somebody will develop that skill. But at the beginner level, at the below 5 years level, it is very, very difficult to know more than one module in depth. You may know a little bit of this module, a little bit of that module, but you will not know, it will very, very highly unlikely to know in depth more than one module.
Oh, got it. And one last final thing. As you said, as you advised to take appropriate time before going for certification, right? Since it's a really tough exam to crack through. So after completion of the course, can we like go directly into the job market in the search of job? And if we land up in job, we can simultaneously, while working, would you suggest preparing and taking, a good amount of time for preparation and then come back to ZaranTech and ask for certification? What's your take on this?
Yeah, that is my recommendation also.
Yeah, because after completion of course, no one wants to, really sit without applying to the jobs right at the end of the day.
Correct.
We all want to land up with the new developed skills, with the new motivation, and with that high spirit, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah, start
since
applying for the jobs and applying for the jobs. And if you are able to give yourself some time while you're working, while you're preparing, and give yourself that time. And if you think that you're able to land a job, well and fine. If you're not able to land a job, if you think that you should go for certification to land a job, then you can obviously you can come back to and they can ask them for the certification.
got it. Thank you.
Sure.
I have a question. One last question.
Yeah.
So if it is an implementation project, what is the duration? And if I know the function consultant will start talking, means interacting with the client, and then the technical consultant will come. So what is the duration of a project, whether it's a SCM implementation or payroll or whatever? And what will be the duration of a technical consultant?
So duration of the project depends upon the number of modules your organization is implementing. If it's
Okay.
only one module, then there will be a certain duration. If there's more than one module, then there will be a certain duration. Now, considering
So-
that if somebody is only implementing HCM, let's take an
Yeah.
example. Let's suppose there is one mid-sized organization with 10,000 work employees. They're only implementing HCM. It will take a minimum 6 to 9 months to
Okay.
do the complete implementation. And this is again subjected to a lot of other factors as well. There could be number of workers, number of consultants in the project that can reduce the timeline significantly. If there are more number of consultants working, obviously that can reduce the timeline significantly. So those factors are generally decided by at the PMO level. When the senior leadership and the PMO team, the project management office, when they work and decide on a plan, they will figure it out. What is the timeline they want, how many consultants they want, what is their budget. So all those things come into picture and decide the timeline. But in general, if it's a 10,000 worker company and only HCM they're implementing, minimum 6 to 9 months it should take.
Okay. So I'm just comparing with the SAP. Okay. So because SAP in this case they will finish in 3 months or 4 months with a sprint approach. So Workday does the same thing with the sprint approach, or it will be flexible, because like if a newcomer like us join there, so we have to spend some time to learn and deliver. You understand what I'm trying to ask, right? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, what is the context of the question? I didn't get that.
What I'm trying to say, so they use waterfall or a sprint approach.
Okay, agile or waterfall. Okay, that is something that see in Workday projects, and this is my take. Okay, in Workday projects, agile really doesn't really fit in, because I'll tell you why. Agile works pretty well in small scale implementations. Okay, but in large scale implementation, you can counter that. But in my opinion and in what I've seen in my experience, waterfall works best in terms of large scale implementations, because
Okay.
there's a lot of things that are involved there. So in terms of Workday, it is in what I have seen, mostly it is waterfall, but you can obviously counter that with your experience. You would have seen something else. That's up to
Yeah,
you.
but
Yeah.
waterfall is good. That's what I'm trying to ask here. Okay.
Yeah, in my opinion and in my experience, I have mostly seen it is being waterfall. And it's bit of with a bit of customization. The companies that I have worked with, they have used, but largely it has been waterfall. They have gathered the requirement first. For a particular module, they have first gathered all the requirements, and whenever they were, and then they do the POCs, and then do start the configurations.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for your time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I have a question. So, as I introduced that I have worked in Workday ecosystem, specifically in Workday Student, for the
Okay.
last 6 years. So do you think, like, do you have some other trainings? I think like this will be 50 to 60% known to me, like the navigations, searching, because it's the same platform used in the student. Do you have like another set of training track that is like more bit of advanced? I just really just want to get deep into the HCM stuff rather than knowing the basics of it. So wondering if there is any other track that you offer or your company offers for that.
Okay, this training will cover. So I don't know to what extent you are expecting, but I'll tell you what all this training will cover. So let me just share my screen quickly and give you an overview so that you can take a
Yeah.
call whether this is appropriate for you or not. So
Yeah.
give me 1 second. Let me just open that LMS portal.
Sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so obviously core concepts and navigations will be the basic navigation stuff. Then module 2, you will learn how to configure a supervisory organization, how to configure a cost center, how to configure a company, how to do those org assignments within a support, how to do hiring. Then you will learn about staffing models, like what are the two staffing models that we use and when to use what, and how to hire in each staffing model. Then in jobs and positions, you learn about how to create positions, how to configure job profiles. In security, you will learn mostly about how Workday security works, how to find out if you do not have access to something, how do you know what security groups you have access to. Those things you'll find out. Under compensation, you will learn about how to configure a comp grade, how to configure a grade profile, how to configure different allowance plans, different salary plans, how to do those assignments, end-to-end compensation assignments. How does when somebody gets hired, how does the recruiter assigns the compensation details? So you will be learning those end-to-end process. In business process, you will learn about how the business process configuration works, what is the end-to-end flow, how the workflow is designed. Then in the staffing transactions, you will learn the stuff like how to hire a contractor, how to convert a contractor into a worker, how to do the delegation, how to walk through the worker movements. Those kind of things you will learn how to initiate a terminate event. All those kind of things you will learn in the staffing transactions. Then module 9 is reporting. In reporting, you will learn about Workday standard reports, how to create custom reports, what are calculated fields, how to create or design a simple calculated field. Then module 10 is EIB, where you will learn about how to design basic inter outbound in EIB. Then in inbound EIB, you will learn how to do bulk data upload in the system using the EIB module. Okay. Then 11 and 12 is completely optional. Yeah, just a high level introduction to the integration. There we do not have much detail here. So that's about it. Now you can decide whether course is appropriate for you or not.
Right. And is there any other like the same kind of training offered by your ZaranTech regarding other, or it is the only track for HCM?
For HCM, this is the only track.
This is the only track. Okay, got
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, and these were like 12 modules. Generally, how long does it take for the one module for you to kind of conduct the training?
The overall this HCM course will be completed approximately, it will be six weeks, around 6 to 7 weeks it takes to complete the overall HCM training.
6 to 7 weeks. Okay.
Yep.
And you did mention it's 8:30 Central, right?
Yes.
And is it like on daily basis or certain days of the week?
It for US folks, it will be from Monday to Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central Time.
So 1 hour each day, so 4 hours commitment of the live training, and then it's whatever we want to spend.
It'll be each session will last approximately 1.5 hours.
Oh, 1.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
with some exceptions, sometimes it will go beyond 1.5 hours, but majority of the time it will be between 1 to 1.5 hours.
Right, right. And one last question. So after this training, we should be able to kind of take like the exam for which particular the certification track? Is it HCM core? Is it
Yes, HCM core.
core? Okay.
Okay. And I believe there are other trainings for like recruiting, absence,
Yes, correct,
etc.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So this is like the foundational aspect of it.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, got it.
Hi, hello. So I'm from an MBA background. I'm a final year student. So I would like to know, I'm actually from a finance background. So I would like to know whether I should go for HCM and finance, or should I get directly enroll on finance courses?
If you already have a finance background, then I recommend you go for finance, Workday Finance, because then it is more relevant to your course, more relevant to what you already know the concepts. It will be better for you, in my opinion. But then it also depends upon if there are enough opportunities in finance. So that is something for you to find out. Please check whether in your location, in your area, in your country, whether you have enough opportunities in finance or HCM. So first also check that. So if
Yeah,
you
I'm
see
from
there are,
India.
sorry.
I'm from India, and
Yeah, so please check if there are enough opportunities in Workday Finance, then go for finance. If you see there are not enough, because I said I am not from that finance domain, so I really do not know what the situation is right now. If you see there aren't enough opportunities, then why should you invest your time in finance? Then you should pick up some other module where you have more opportunities to land a job.
okay. So I would like to know when the training would be started for finance, or what is the process to enroll for it?
You have to send an email to your point of contact, because finance, they have a different trainer and a different batch. So they will help you with the updates whenever the batch starts for finance.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Manage.
Yes.
Actually, I have recently graduated. Then I would like to start my career in Workday.
Okay.
Then I decided, and I have a real-time tenant practice in Workday HCM, and I did created some little bit absence plans like leaves, bereavement leave, and basic accruals like and condition rules, basic reporting. I do have a little bit like this super job change, cost center, company, holiday calendar. I did practice in a real tenant. I would like to start my career in as a fresher. Then I did see in a LinkedIn in all job kind of portals. I didn't see any openings for the fresher.
No, you will get, Deepak. You will, as a fresher, it will be difficult initially, but you will find opportunities. Especially your best bet will be these implementation companies, this Tech Mahindra or this KPMG, Deloitte. You have to start applying for the positions there. These are the
Yeah,
only
I did apply.
companies.
Yeah, recently IBM launched a package consultant HCM and compensation. I did applied many more. Like I didn't remember. I think around up to 10 companies. I did see openings in all kind of portals.
So you have to keep applying, Deepak, because you're a fresher. It is not impossible. Because you're a fresher, it will take more time for you compared to an experienced guy. But landing that first job will be little challenging for you. But it will happen. It will happen over a period of time. You have to keep applying, keep your CV updated with your skills, because the skills are very good. This Workday skills that you have, we developed already. The skills are very good skills, and there's a demand in the market. So you keep applying. It's just about that one opportunity that you will click. So keep trying. It will happen over a period of time. It is happening to all the freshers. It will happen to you also.
Yeah, and I did practice like in calculated fields also. I did a little bit research and basic true or false conditions.
Yeah, then you already know, you already have a base in place, so you should be good. Just keep trying. Okay, you should be good.
So I have one last question. So
Yeah.
generally in market, do we have internships in Workday? Like
Internships,
I
I
never
don't think so.
found anything, so
I don't
that's
think
why.
so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Even I haven't really seen much around that. I haven't seen
Yeah,
any
I
internship.
haven't. It's none actually in the market, so that's why I was asking. So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct. Yeah, that's
Yeah, you
that's
have to
actually
find
correct.
a ZipRecruiter. There is more internship. I think I see
It is there.
ZipRecruiter. Yeah. I
Okay.
think not remote location basis, Atlanta, and some universities are offering
Oh,
ZipRecruiter.
that's
You can
great.
find it.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else?
One quick question.
Yeah.
Do you know if product owner or product manager will be helpful? Like if they do this course, does it help for a product owner?
Yeah, you can join the product organizations where they do hire for product manager roles. So in a lot of product companies, they have a requirement to manage the day-to-day operations. So as a product manager, you will generally be leading a module. So if you know Workday HCM, so you'll probably join as a product manager where you will be leading that product module. There will be resources under you who will be working on it, and you will be having an oversight of the overall application. So as a product manager, yes, you can definitely leverage that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
If you have the time, I have a question as well.
All right, please go ahead.
So it seems that Workday knowledge is pretty much locked down and very preparatory, unlike other systems where you can find trainings in various places. But when I search, actual trainings are very limited, unless you are inside of the Workday ecosystem.
Correct.
As a customer, you can't really learn these things other than from you guys, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is pretty much locked out. You're correct. You are correct. I have no idea why. They're pretty much closed access to their applications, their resources, their doors, everything. And I honestly, I really have no idea why. I mean, I feel it should have been more open, like many of the other courses which you can easily learn for anybody who wants. Like for example, for anybody who wants to learn cloud or AI, it is pretty easy, right? You can just pick up any website. There's so many applications, so many websites. We can easily pick up those skills. But I don't know why Workday has maintained this kind of closed door approach. Maybe some business strategy or whatever it is. But you're correct. You cannot easily access their courses. You cannot easily access their tenant.
Right. On some hostings, I think they mentioned that a few years before they had a free tenant that you can actually use, but that's no longer the case.
Correct. That is correct. So they had something called as a GMS tenant. So, and that is only for those guys who are already in the ecosystem with access to Workday community. So once you are in the Workday ecosystem as a consultant, you will get access to something called Workday community. Inside that community, they had a GMS tenant that was freely available for consultants to try out different configurations, but they have stopped it now. Now they have made it, what do you call it, on a chargeable basis. So your organization can decide whether they want to get that tenant, GMS tenant. If they want, they have to pay a certain amount for it.
Okay. Okay. So it seems it's very preparatory information. Even if you wanted to learn it, your avenues are very limited.
Very, very limited. That is absolutely correct. Yes. And this is one of the common questions I keep facing from participants, from students. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. It's something that really I don't think is a good idea. Just in a global world, it should have been more open for everybody to learn a skill set. They have an excellent application. If there are people who are willing to learn, there should have been opportunities open for everyone to learn. But currently, that is not the case. I really do not know what is the idea behind it. Probably some business strategy or something.
Probably money.
Yeah, you are correct. Because they are making a lot of money through the Workday trainings and the certifications, right? That could be one of the reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure, Jay. All right. So I think that's it, guys, then. See you in the class. Wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. Have a good rest of the day. And guys, those who have questions around certifications, please make a note of it and send an email to your point in contact. They will get back to you with the answers. Okay?
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.